to the Death and Disco podcast. Today I have Jasmine Wilder. She is a writer and creator of the Tiny Joy Project. She writes for people carrying big feelings, small reminders that beauty still exists even when everything feels broken. I have been following her work. I'm obsessed with it, and it has literally reached millions of people who need a reason to exhale, as she says. When she's not noticing sunsets or talking to her dog, she's probably getting distracted by something small and thinking about it longer than she needs to. I love that.
100% all the time. I see anything, I'm like, ooh, this could be a good subject.
So welcome to the show,
so
Jasmine.
much.
I'm just so grateful.
Thank you so
that
much
took
for
the time
having
to
me.
be here.
My first podcast. Wow.
Yes. Well, yeah, Jasmine and I were just talking offline, and I started following her Instagram account, Tiny Joy Project, pretty recently. But I was just like, wow, this girl has got it. And it's been incredible to just watch you grow in such a short amount of time, because I really believe that right now, like, your message is what the world really needs. And so
I appreciate it.
I
That's
wanted
exactly why I honestly started the whole thing to begin with, because I was like, it's getting a little out of hands, and I feel like people just need a reminder that it's not all that bad. Well, it seems it's bad. It's just there's so much noise right now that it's not the whole story. It's not the whole story.
Actually, I want to read just one of your posts so that our listeners can hear it, and then I'll dive into more of what I have to say. But I just have this one that performed really well. And it's a carousel post. You guys have to go check out her account. But it says, a kid just offered their last gummy bear to a tree, held it up, whispered, for the birds or the fairies, left it on a low branch, ran off like they'd done something sacred. Maybe they had. And then the next one, there are raspberries in the world, and moss, and people who wave at trains. There are books with cracked spines and sweaters that smell like home. You haven't missed it. Life is still happening. And just one more. You're on a spinning space rock, wearing socks, drinking bean juice. You get to hear thunder. You get to say, I love you, and oops in the same hour. Nothing about this makes sense, which means it's probably magic.
Exactly. That's one of my favorite. I love that. Oops.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about how the whole project began, and just what was that epiphany moment for for you, and how did you actually get the ball rolling?
Oh boy, that's a long story. Okay, well, I'll try to dish it down, but
take up time. We've got all the time.
Exactly. So about a year ago, I had my brand design studio still. It was called Moose Anchors, and I was just doing branding stuff. And I was told that I need to start building up a personal brand kind of on the side to this is the new thing. Build a personal brand so people get to know you. So I did that. And I was like, I don't know what to write about myself. So I wanted to write all these little messages and little, I don't want to call them poems, but a lot of people call them poems. I don't know what they are. Essays, life, revelations, whatever box you want to put them in. But I started to write these as my personal brand. And they just sort of started taking off because I wanted to write to my past self, who was very stressed and anxious all the time. And back then, I just wanted to write something that would have helped me at that moment to kind of see it's not all bad. So that's what I started doing. And the more I did that, they just kind of took off on Threads, the platform Threads. And that's where I started growing first. So they started taking off, and I started gaining followers left and right. Like first, I still remember when I hit my 5,000 followers on Threads, and it was like, whoa, this is a big deal. 5,000 people want to know what I write. Like, ooh, what's up with that? So it took off from there, and then just grew. And then later, I think it was, I'm so bad with names, so I'm so sorry if I butcher anybody's name, but Shannon Mahan, big name on Instagram, political person. She shared one of my posts on Instagram stories, and then my Instagram started to blow up. Exactly. And I gained hundreds and hundreds and thousands of followers alone from that. And I started posting more on Instagram. I'm like, okay, well, maybe people want to see something from there too. So I started posting more over there. And my gosh, I still remember July last year, I had 777 followers because I wanted to screenshot. I'm like, that's so cool, 777. And now we're at 324,000. Like,
no, you've gained even more. You have 344,000.
Oh, there you go. It just exploded. Every day I'm like, wow. I'm like, can you imagine how many people? That's more people than the town I live in is. I'm like, hello? And I'm like trying not to think about it because I'm like, I get stage fright and I'm more of like, I would say a shy person. Or used to be. I'm not as bad as anymore, but I get my moments. But I'm like, I can't think about it because that's wild. It's crazy.
Oh my God, I love it. So you started the Tiny Joy Project as messages for your past self and what would have helped you during times of, it sounds like, heartache and struggle. And can you tell us a little bit more about like what were you going through? Like because you use the word, what is it? For people with carrying big feelings.
Yes.
So was that you who you were speaking to?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. So back then, honestly, it all started when, 2019 is when I moved back to Finland with my husband from the States. I lived in the States for 4 years. We moved back here where I'm from. And at that point, I started my business and things were hard. Then COVID hit pretty shortly after.
Yeah.
So out of jobs, we had to move with my parents because we just moved countries. Like we had nothing really based. So we just wanted to be here. So we moved in with them and it was tough. I was trying to find jobs. Jobs were not there and doing my business. My husband was trying to find a job. He did a little bit, but then he got cut off because of COVID. And we were kind of stuck at that point and trying to make any kind of ends meet as possible. And so my husband's cousin at the moment, they were very close. He was her age. And she got diagnosed with cancer at that point. She was pregnant at the time too. Like it was horrible. And she was younger than me, 1 year, 2 years younger. And she got diagnosed with cancer. She beat it once. And whenever I heard that, I started having kind of like health anxiety of my own. Because, it's like the glass house has been shattered. Like, oh, we're not like going to be here forever. Like, what's up with that? Like, there's some things that could happen. Yeah. Things like that. So I started getting really anxious about my health and I was constantly stressing about my health. And like, if she can get it, like, what's up? Like, maybe I can get some crazy disease too. So I was struggling with that and money issues and work issues and so many things kind of just piled on top of each other at that point that I was going to a doctor like in and out myself because I was so paranoid about like, oh, my knee aches. Oh, that must be some kind of a rare disease or something. It's my head like just, it wouldn't quite self down when it came to health. Yeah. So I was in and out of the doctor myself. And at one point we had this bee issue, which is funny to say, but we have like 20 bees in our room at one point because there was a nest there and they were all coming in their room and we were trying to fix it and it was impossible. And I woke up to a bee sting one day, like a bee stung my foot because it was there. So that just added to the stress. And I think it was kind of the last stretch because at that point I was so stressed that I actually got like a health scare, you could say. I had my appendix flare up and I had to go to a doctor and they actually had to remove my appendix because I was so stressed. I still remember being at the doctor like, you need to do some breathing exercises because your heart's like kind of going crazy right now. And we're kind of concerned about that. So I just sat in the lobby by myself, like trying to do breathing exercises. And they were like, okay, yeah, we're doing this test. And yeah, you're going to have to get your appendix removed. So I was like, okay, cool. At least it's just that. Like, I can live without it. Like, it's fine. So we did that, and the day that I had my surgery on it, and I was back in my room at that point, was the day that we heard that her cancer, because it came back, was untreatable, and like there was nothing they could basically do. And I still remember sitting at the hospital bed and just like looking out the window. I was like, how did I get the news that I was going to make it that day? Like, I'll be fine. But she got the opposite news the same day. And that kind of messed me up. I was like, she's younger than me. And she's just like, God, I mean, that's devastating. You have your own experience, which I'm sorry to hear about. It's but like that moment when you hear that, like it's just gut wrenching and like, oh. So I remember calling my husband and we sat on the phone for like hours because she was like a brother to him. Basically, they kind of grew up together because they were the only kids in the family. So that we talked, and a couple months went by, and she ended up passing away, leaving a husband and a child, a very young child behind. So that was kind of like, at that point, I think it just all kind of clicked. I'm like, we're not going to be here forever. Like, why should I be worrying about all this stuff? Like, why should I be worried about making money? I mean, it's essential, but like, it's not everything. It's not the whole story. So I just started to look into my own mortality. I started reading books about mortality and like just diving into the because I had always been very much like, stay away from that. I'm not opening that vault door. Like, I'm not ready. So I decided to finally go through it, and I went through the whole cycle of like learning about your own weaknesses, and we're fragile beings, basically. And like, I came or tried to come to the conclusion that it's okay. Like, things happen. Your body is not here forever. It's very fragile. Like, diseases are a thing, and it's fine. They can exist. We can coexist. Like, it's not end all be all. So I went through that, and this is kind of a weird pivot, but a couple years later, we had a woodcutter that was going to come to our property and cut down a couple of trees. He was going to come down and chop them down. And I still remember like him walking on a yard. He was really young, my age, tall, skinny man. And I remember this, I don't know why, but I just remember looking at him like he looks so chill and just, kind of like you can sense the aura or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, totally.
He seems so nice. And like, we booked a job, etc., etc. And a week goes by, they never showed up. We were like, what? What's going on? And then we heard that he accidentally or had some kind of a freakish work accident and he passed away. Like, I was like, he was here. He was just walking on our yard. Healthy, mid-30s, also with kids, married, like, he was just walking here a week ago, nothing wrong, no disease, no nothing. Like, he was just here. And a week later, he's gone. I was like, again, I was like, what is going on? I was like, what is going on? So that kind of shook me up also, even though I don't know this guy. I didn't know who, like, I've never really spoke to him or anything, but that kind of shook me up too, because like, it really is like, you don't know when it's time to go. Like, life is so fragile and so short. And I just went ham on, I guess, writing and feeling it and journaling and just going through the emotions of like how short period of a time we get here and how precious that is and how I used to take everything for granted, per se. And that's kind of how Tiny Joy happened. That's why I write what I write now, because it's a lot of emotions packed in there, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But it's a mess of a story. I try to keep it straight, but my brain always likes to go like remember this and this.
No, but Jasmine, this is so, I'm just like, I knew that there was something here when I saw your account, and I was like, I need to reach out to this woman. Like, you can tell when something's cliche and then when something is actually like really embodied and visceral and felt. And I was like, this woman knows. Like, and I was like, I'm so curious as to like what brought you to have this perspective on life. And I didn't know about these stories.
Right. Nobody
But it's crazy because that's what
does,
yeah, but that's what this podcast is about. My whole like motto is embrace death to make the most out of life, because I think we have our culture's like in such denial of death.
That's exactly.
Death. And so
exactly, like nobody, it's such a taboo. Like we think, and that's what I feel like young people especially think they're invincible, like there's nothing that's ever going to take them down. So, I mean, they live fearlessly also, which I adore, please do. But like, it is such a heavy topic. And I feel like everybody's so scared to open the can of worms and just talk about it. But it does happen every day. It happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think it's just like you said, like if you look back to the version of you kind of in COVID who was like so worried about money, really like stressing about the small things. And then you have this health scare, both with yourself and then with your your husband's cousin. And she actually ends up passing away. It snaps you out of that autopilot and puts life into perspective, which is exactly what happened to me when my late husband passed away.
I can't even imagine.
I was like, oh my,
especially like because I'm gossiping, but like your actual spouse, somebody you spent your life with, like I can't even begin to fathom how deep that is, because it's a whole new level.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, I think what I want to dive into more is like, I lost my husband when he was 32 years old, and I had 2 young kids by my side. And I could very much feel this new perspective kind of starting to like open up for me, where I was like, and actually it was within the gratitude of what still remained. Like watching my husband pass away was like, oh my God, like I've taken such for granted just my own heartbeat and my ability to breathe and to move my body. And I felt that. But then just the chaos of life and surviving my husband's death like pulled me out of that, like back into that same hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious for you, like you really dove into exploring your own mortality, and like because I found that it's almost had to become a practice for me to like remember, because life will pull you out of it. So like can you just tell us more a little bit about like specifically what that contemplation looked like for you?
Honestly, it was terrifying to begin with, because I was like, okay, so we're all going to die, period, end of story. Ever since you're being born, or you're born, basically, you're on your way to the deathbed already. Like time is running out, period, at that point. So to me, it was a lot of finding gratitude and being thankful that we get to die. And honestly, I read a book, For the Love of Me. I do not remember the author because I'm bad with names, but it was called Being Mortal. And he wrote a book about mortality, and he's a surgeon himself, so a doctor, a very like big name in the field. And he was writing about how people have this illusion that doctors can fix anything, but that's so far from the truth. Doctors are very, very limited in what they can actually do. And even like diagnosing the right thing is really hard, like to know what exactly is wrong with you. And then do you even have meds for it? You may not. And then there's the whole idea of there's so many niches in the doctor space right now that it's a whole mess. And he was just basically writing how his patients were on, because he was treating people with cancer and stuff like that. So he was talking about how his clients were going through it and what was going on through their heads, and how their journey was and how it felt for him. to see all these people passing, like having to be the one who tells people like, yeah, you're not going to make it. So that was really interesting perspective for me because I had never looked into mortality, but where it really led me to was just honestly gratitude of getting to exist to begin with. Like that is absolute crazy thing. Like I started looking at like odds. I started looking at odds, how odds are working against you, like existing. And the more I did that, the more I was grateful. And I happened to see a short from Neil deGrasse Tyson where he was talking about how you're basically the rarest thing ever to exist. So that was really cool. And how he was talking about how you're more likely to not exist than you are to exist. Like you won the lottery, like you're here, like, and what a privilege it is to die. Because in order to die, it means that you got to live. And how many million people, billions of people could exist but don't? I was like, whoa, that's probably a lot more higher numbers. So for me, it all came from the space of facing my fears of death, facing the fact that I will die, facing the fact that everybody I know will die, which also almost is like comforting to know that it's not just you going through it. So having that and that's pretty much it.
But what I find what I think is really impressive about your process is like, I think a lot of people will hear things like this, or they'll even I know people have seen my story and then they'll leave a comment and it's like, oh my God, that's so awful. And we'll remember it for a second. But then we scroll by and go back to the day to day.
Yeah,
exactly. Whereas you really took the time to sit with it and ask yourself these questions, and you searched out authors, the On Being Mortal book, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson shorts, that really helped you tap into that sense of awe, which I think awe and abundance, cultivating a sense of inner abundance, are foundational for us to be able to detach from this hustle and bustle culture of chase, prove, earn. Yeah.
That's the thing too. It's just another thing I saw back at the time was when I was scrolling through, I saw a, I don't want to say influencer, but content creator. He made a video how he's going to take a break because it's not mentally good for our brain to be scrolling on TikTok and you see, oh, kittens, happy baby, oh, baby was born, and then scroll and you see, oh, a person is on their deathbed, and then you scroll, oh, happy, I got a new car, and then you scroll and it's sad. You're literally switching through emotions in milliseconds. I'm like, that can't be good. I'm like, you're on to something. You're on to something. I'm like, this is probably not good. So yeah, that's basically it. Both of my my grandparents, my grandpa had Alzheimer's. He passed away also during all this from Alzheimer's. And my grandma is also on her, I would say last months probably with Alzheimer's. It's been so long. So having or actually seeing somebody go through something that slowly decays, you're just kind of a shadow of yourself, that probably also I'm sure had a major impact on what I was going through back then also. But yeah,
totally.
It's been a roller coaster.
Yeah, well, absolutely. But what I'm hearing though is I think our tendency is to see people dying or see stories of loss, and it's we almost put up a wall and say that could, I know I did this. I was that couldn't happen to me. That's so distant. That's going to be some, that I can't imagine. Right. And I think the invitation is actually to look at a story like that, and really let it in, let it land, let it feel your heart break and empathize, and then realize what beauty remains in your life and how grateful you can be. And, it's kind of it's a little twisted, but true. It's there's no shortage of people dying.
That's it.
There's a lot of suffering in the world right now. That can
every second somebody's dying. Every second somebody's being born also. But it's constant. It's not going to stop. It will never stop. And sure, some of it is caused by other humans, which is very unfortunate. But it's regardless, it's happening. You can't mask away from it.
No, totally. And what I think is so interesting is like we think that when we go into dying and death and like the darkness, we're going to be like consumed by it. But in both of our experiences, especially yours, like you have this beautiful, I mean, I turned my pain into purpose. I was like, oh, there's this such thing as like post-traumatic growth. I can help others through my experience of loss, like finding the good. So I want to like, how have you learned how to exercise that muscle and like really like see the good amongst all of the suffering in the world? Because I remember you wrote a post the other day that was like, there's a lot of shit going down. You didn't say that. You said it much more eloquently. But it was like, but there's still like all of these tiny miracles. Like, have you had to exercise that muscle, or like, what's your process for seeking the beauty and the good in life?
100% have to. You know, every morning I wake up and it's a choice. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, it's a choice. I can either feel horrible, open my phone, look at all the horrible things happening in the world. And then I feel it. I see what's happening. I'm not in denial of it. Like, that's never my intention with my content. Like, I do see it. I do feel it. I wish things were different. Like, in the end, we're all just humans. But I do advocate for also keeping your own sanity together, because it's not, like earlier we talked about the scrolling, like it's not safe for your brain and your mental state to be constantly dwelled in this, because I was too back then. And what I decided, I was just a random day. I was like, I can either wake up tomorrow and grab my phone, look at all the things that's wrong, let the world tell me how to feel about today, or I can just get up, decide this is a great day. I can choose to see all the good, all the positive things, all the great things that are going on, or I can choose to see all the things that are wrong, all the things that are bad, everything that. It's just choice. It's just and I still have to make that choice, because I do get sucked into the head errors and news headlines and etc. now and then. I'm like, okay, so that's probably enough consuming right now. Like, maybe we step back and actually find something that we're grateful for. And I know it's such a cliche, and like it sounds like, oh yeah, we'll just be grateful. Like, I'm sure they'll do it, but it actually does. Like it is a choice, and just saying out loud, writing or thinking even, like, what are you grateful for? It makes a world of a difference.
Yeah.
Because then you start to get more of that and not just all the bad.
Totally. And what I really like about what you said is that like you still read the news. It's not like you're just like shutting it out and like bypassing it, right? And it's like, but it's like it's there and I can feel it and I can let my heart break, and it's like, now what? Like, what am I going to do with this? And it's funny. There's so many different parallels, like from my husband's death. Like I literally was like, my heart is breaking, my world is over, but I have a choice if I only want to see the darkness and devastation of this, or can I see like where this might be guiding me and see like the gifts in my grief too. So it's like about duality, I feel like often. Like it's
really
like all these things, because I think like dark and light are related, right? Like you went into death. That's the catalyst that opened you up into like the beauty of what remains. So we have to be able to engage with both. But ultimately, you're a sovereign human being and you choose what reality you want to live in.
That's the thing. Like without death, there's no life. Like it has to happen in order to it to happen. So like it just is. And I do see, I mean, headers. I used to read news all the time, constantly, 24/7. And like, then you go online, everybody's talking about everything. And it can be very overwhelming. And it is sad to see people acting in certain ways. But it's never the whole story. Like I say, it's never the whole book. It's never the whole chapter. It's never the whole sentence. Like there's a comma, like, but like there's the end of the sentence, which is, it doesn't need to be bad.
Oh, Jasmine, that's so good. Like it's never the end of the story. And I think to just remember that whenever you're going through a hard chapter in your life, because that's what it is. It's a page, it's a chapter. Maybe it's a couple chapters, right? But like usually something good will come from it. You just have to like trust that, like remembering that's all connected and related.
There's so much more to the story than just the bad. So much.
Absolutely. Can we just get tactical for just like a minute? I want to just like I just want to like paint us a picture of like a day in the life of Jasmine. Like, because I'm just like, the stuff that you write is so visceral. So I'm like, how do you, when you like go out and you look at the world, like, do you slow down and pause? Do you smell? Like how do you? I'm like, I want my, like everything that you write. It's like, I want that in my life.
Right.
Like, so how do you get there?
Let's see. A day in my life. Okay. So what do I do?
Sourdough bread. Like, tell me about the bread.
Sourdough. Oh, I could talk about sourdough bread. Okay. So, okay. I wake up. I'll just try to mimic through what I do. So I wake up and I absolutely do not touch my phone until like I've done all the morning chores, hair, teeth, coffee, everything, dog. Like it takes me maybe an hour or 30 minutes that I even get to my laptop where I do my work. And I try to avoid my phone as much as possible throughout every day, honestly, because I don't want to get sucked into the whole social media. Like, I don't want to be just consuming. I want to create. So I basically avoid my phone. Every time I go outside, I mean, yeah, I do look for small things. Like, even if the sun's out and it's like painting through the trees or anything, you see little gnats flying. Like, yeah, I pay attention. Like, I try to look around as much as possible, be present. I think that's important, being present where you're at. Even though it's very easy to get in your head. I have a lot of experience. So I try to look, I keep my eyes open, and I read a lot. Also, very much so avid reader, so I read a lot, so I hear lots of stories, and I just like to write about things that people take for granted, people overlook a lot of times. Things like clouds, like how are clouds even there? Like who decided that clouds are gonna be a thing? Like who made this decision? Like even that, like just cloud shit, everything. I keep my eyes open. I try to be as present as possible. I read. I let my imagination run. I think having like a childlike curiosity is really good. Asking why a lot, like why is this the way? Like that whole thing where kids are constantly asking, like why is this a work? Like what's up with that? Like that's, and I would say that's a lot of what Tiny Joy is. And I also I made a decision a couple of years back that if I'm gonna watch something like entertainment, etc., I made a decision that it has to be something positive. I don't watch crime documentaries. I don't watch crime anything. I don't watch any scary movies, horror movies. I don't enjoy them. I'm terrified. I will see nightmares. I used to watch The Walking Dead when it started like years back. Once a week, I probably saw dreams about zombies, and I was like, I'm not happy. So I stopped watching that. I do not consume any kind of scary, true crime, anything, or podcast, or like that kind of stuff. I can't. I feel like I would just get really paranoid. So I avoid that. Yeah. So I made a decision that every time I consume something, because I like to watch something before I go to bed, it has to be something positive, something that is uplifting, makes you feel good, and kind of makes you in the right headspace. So that's probably helped me, honestly, a lot more than I like to admit or say. I don't really think about it ever. I would say that's probably one of the biggest things. That and just being present, having that kid-like wonder and curiosity about things, like it's a major thing.
I love that. So, just to like, rehash that, it was like no cell phone in the morning, which is something I tried to do too, because you just get sucked in. So no cell phone. Presence, like really tuning in to the situation that you're in, childlike wonder and imagination, and then curating what you consume.
Yes.
Curating the input.
I muted and unfollowed pretty much everybody on my personal Instagram. Like I was like, I'm done consuming all this stuff that just makes me feel crappy or puts me down or makes me feel any bad emotion kind of way. It was like, I'm just, even family members and stuff like that. Like, I don't necessarily want to see this. So I'm going to keep following them, but I'm just going to mute. I muted like, I would say like 95% of people that I followed. And I only make sure that when I do follow somebody, it's somebody that gives me energy, which is also what Tiny Joy is about. Because like, I want to give people energy instead of taking it. I want to be more redemptive instead of exploitative. So that's kind of what I do.
Well, it's absolutely working because you've just grown so much. And that's like one of the beautiful gifts of social media, right? Like there's light and dark to everything in life, shadow and light, right? And so I love that you've been able to like reach so many people. I had one more thought right there that I wanted to touch on. Just like how I think another thing for me that death has really like opened me up to is that like everything just is.
Oh, yeah.
And that it's literally our perspective that shapes our reality.
Oh, yes.
So the fact that you're so careful about what comes into your mind because that our beliefs are what create our perspective, right? And like you've just chosen to like really feed it so that you see life through this beautiful way. And it's like I'm highlighting that for our listeners because I think it's so important. Like if you go to your feed and you look at the way that you view the world, it's just like, wow, like people are blown away.
It's so eye-opening. That's I think that was one of the things for me too, because I like if I go on Instagram and I scroll on my feed and I'm like, wow, I feel really crappy right now. Like, okay, there's probably something that should change. And I think it's so beautiful and great that we get to curate what we watch. We get to curate what we consume. Like you're not a victim of this stuff. Like you can easily hit the unfollow or mute or whatever. Like you don't have to sit there if you don't want to.
Yeah. I love that. So tell us just about like, what is the future of the Tiny Joy Project? I know you're starting a new subscriber base. So yeah, what are your goals, your big visions, and how do we get more of you in our lives?
There's so much. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. So yes, my, I guess, near-term future plan is to get my subscription-based newsletter out, which is basically daily emails at the moment that I will do here, hopefully shortly. I'm still waiting on some government stuff to clear up, but once that is out, I will start working on, well, I've been working on it anyway, but my book that I am writing. I know, it's crazy.
Like, that's exciting.
If I would tell myself that, oh yeah, like 5 years from now, tell myself like, oh, you're writing a book, I would be like, shut the can of worms, that ain't true. Like, ain't no way. But yeah, that's probably the major thing I'm working on. Getting that, looking for publisher, all that stuff, fun stuff. What else am I doing? I am the book. Oh yeah, my like big and all goal for Tiny Joy is actually a documentary that I want to make one day. I think it'll be cool.
Yes.
I think it'll be fun.
It'd be so cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be so fun. And that's going to be like, probably like many years from now, 5 or something like that. I don't know. But that's going to be like the end goal for Tiny Joy that I want to do. It's very ambitious and I have no idea how or what or anything, but I don't know. Something about me is just being cool to make a documentary. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's something there to explore.
Absolutely.
So that and books and possibly some children's books, since people are constantly asking me for children's books too. So there's a lot of little stuff happening. Let's put it that way. And of course, my whole socials.
Little tiny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love that. Tiny thing. Yep. That's basically.
The tiny book, yeah. The tiny documentary.
Exactly. Oh, I love it.
Even though
the
it'll
whole
be
tiny brand.
It feels really big.
Yep.
Yeah. I love this for you, Jasmine. And I feel like just by putting it out there and you just like, I truly believe that when you're just like in your heart and you're aligned with like your soul calling, it's like you're unstoppable. I just feel like the universe conspires to like help you.
Like,
and
almost like even with Tiny Joy, because when I started it, I was like, I don't know what this is. Like even now, I'm like, I don't know what this is. But it's like it almost feels like a planned out movie that I'm just like I'm going through the motions to get there. Like I feel like it's already planned out and I'm just following the script, I guess. It's weird, but
totally. Yeah. Well, and I think we get so caught up in our heads around like what's next and we need to have it all figured out. And I know I'm like so prone to that. And it's been interesting just like all the figuring out is just a way to protect us from rejection and failure.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like if you can just stay open and say, I want the book, I want the documentary, and just like allow like that passion and creative life force to carry you. Yeah.
Exactly.
We get to be delightfully surprised, like in holding it all lightly, because who knows what the universe is going to
who knows? Yeah, I
send our way.
have no idea. I've been very open. I was just like, whatever comes, it comes. I will deal with it. But yeah, that's basically where we're at.
I love that one. Yeah, so that's been your approach, is just like
allowing it
I'm
to
gonna put this out there, and whatever happens.
Yeah, because when I started, like even when I started writing these tiny joys and I was still doing my business, I was like, okay, well, I'm not kind of in the mode to do this business anymore because I love designing, but it was never like, I was always trying to pivot with it because it never felt in alignment with me. So I was always trying to rebrand and like trying new things, and it was like a mess. And then kind of Tiny Joy just fell into my lap. Like I had a whole yearly plan made for my old branding business, Moose Anchors, for 2025. And then March rolled around and this all happened, and my business just kind of went out of the door. It's like, well, that's kind of funny. Where my yearly business, like all these ideas I had, like it just all went out the window at that point. So it was funny.
That's so crazy. Such a beautiful lesson, though, of like we think we know, and then it's like actually there might be something else that's completely
different. You just have to be open.
Isn't even on the vision board.
Exactly.
Just have to be open. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jasmine, this has been so good. I have one question just to wrap up our time together, and that's when you think of your life and like your mortality, and like I always say, like embrace death, make the most of life. What is making the most of life mean to you? What would that look like?
It's a great question. Okay. Making the most out of life. Honestly, just being grateful that you got the chance to be here and not taking it for granted. Like, find curiosity in things still, because otherwise, you're just gonna sit there and drift through life without ever really paying attention to things. And it's kind of sad to think that when you get to the end and you just realize you never really did much or noticed much, and you're just gonna drift it through life. Yeah, I think that would be it. Just notice and be present, grateful, live life. Yeah. Like, who cares what others think? Yeah. Like it's your experience. So.
It's so true. Just be here to experience it. I love that so much, and such a just great reminder to all of us. So I am so grateful for this interview. Yes, I'm so happy that the algorithm showed me your content and that I could be connected to you. And I'm just so excited to continue to watch you flourish and grow and impact people's lives.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And is there anywhere that we can find you specifically? I'll link everything in the show notes, but is there any other like websites or anything you want to mention?
Honestly, just Tiny Joy, the Tiny Joy Project everywhere. I'm on all socials pretty much on that same name. So that's it, pretty much.
That's it. Awesome. Well, follow Jasmine, guys, at the Tiny Joy Project, and check out her new newsletter. And yeah, thank you so much. We'll see you guys soon in another episode.
Thank you.